Yes, 1, 2, 3. Yes.
You know you're talking to up there?
Yes, 1, 2, 3.
Okay, I have 2 o'clock, Kevin.
You know who I'm talking to? The person sitting next to you.
Okay, I call the commissioner meeting for December 3rd to order. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
On additions to the agenda changes, I just have one. Our legal representative today is going to be Stephanie Crandall from Martha Thornburg.
I have 2 changes.
Okay,
I did not get any information back from Baker Lawn Services on the
I got
agreement.
it. Kevin,
You did?
yeah, we'll talk about that.
Okay.
I've got the,
And then I have an addition. We had earlier on selected a bid for the repair of the bridge at Hoover and Sweetwater Trail contingent upon CCMG. And we have officially received the funds to repair that bridge from CCMG. So we need to get this contract in here and consider it for approval so that we potentially may have to encumber it. I don't know.
all right, so I'll put that on the, under service contracts.
Yeah.
So how much was that?
The actual contract was $394,000 and $394,394.
So we actually got more money than that?
Yeah, I don't know exactly the amount, but Eric basically said it was over 400,000.
All right, any other changes?
None on my side.
Minutes and claims?
No, I've had a chance to review them. I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes and claims. I do have an exception. I am not seeing a claim that was submitted by the Association of, and please don't take offense to this is the organization's name, Association of Retarded Citizens. They submitted a claim on the 15th of November for mental health service for $10,000. That item has been removed from the commissioner's budget, so we do not have the funds nor approval to pay that claim. So I am making a motion that this claim be rejected and returned to them.
So the motion was to approve the minutes and claims with the.
No, I'm sorry, I'm making let me remove my first motion. The motion is to reject this claim voucher for $10,000 from the Association of Retarded Citizens.
Okay.
Can I approve everything else?
I'll make a separate motion for that.
All right.
And why are we rejecting it?
That funds, we have no details as to what services other than it says mental health services.
No
And that was-
funds?
Huh?
No funds? We've paid it every other year?
We basically, yes, we have, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they have the means to have it. That money was moved around in order to cover shortfalls in our budget.
And there's no supporting detail for the invoice at all. We're not sure what it is, what it's for, what it covers,
Correct.
what the results were, et cetera.
Wouldn't it be better to figure out exactly what's going on before, other than we just don't have the money to pay it?
We
Is
don't have
that
the
your
money to pay it.
conclusion, Julia?
Yeah, that would be my suggestion.
Do what?
I said my suggestion would be to find out. I mean, it's been paid like every year I've been here.
I understand, but when I went through the exercise to find an agreement or a contract with this organization, we had nothing.
Nothing in the minutes, nothing in anything.
Not that I could find. And I don't know how long it's been going on. So, that's my motion. I'll leave it as it stands.
Is there a second?
I'd like to make a counter motion. It depends on if that one carries or not.
Okay, well, I'll entertain a counter motion.
Just table it until we can look into it a little further. We still have another meeting, and we might even do another meeting before the end of the year. Let's see if we can figure it out a little bit clearer. would be my suggestion. I'll make a motion to table it.
Can I make a comment?
Sure.
That's going to require, if we do go through this exercise, that's going to require us approaching the council and asking for an additional appropriation.
Well, you gotta approach the council.
And we have, and additional appropriations have to be advertised how far in advance?
10 days.
10 days in advance. So that means that we are well already inside of the advertisement restrictions
For their meeting, yes.
for their meeting.
But they
So
would
that
have
means that
more.
they would also have to have a special session.
Well, they're gonna have probably one anyway.
I'm not gonna say they aren't. Because they may.
Okay. Again, so dealing with that, I'm fine seconding the tabling motion.
Okay. Motion on the tables to table it, pending more information. All right. Roll call?
Ron?
Me?
Mm-hmm. Ron?
Yes.
Okay, Tim?
Yes.
Kevin?
Yes.
Can I ask a question? Tabling all the minutes and the claims? or
No,
no.
Just
Just
this
that claim.
claim,
Okay.
and I am not going to say this for a third time, so can you hand that to her? Because again, some people might take offense to the name, and I don't want to say it again.
Okay.
So,
First agenda item is Hale.
hold on.
Hey, we gotta go back to the
I
next
gotta
one.
go back.
I didn't do that. Okay, I
I'm
forgot.
sorry, I've screwed up the routine
That's
there.
okay.
So I will now make a motion to approve the minutes and the claims as they are presented.
I'll second.
Okay, roll call.
Tim?
Yes.
Kevin?
Yes.
Ron?
Yes.
Okay. All right, first agenda item, hail and farewell to our legal representation. Hey, Mike Moga is leaving us. He's been served with us for over 5 years. I mean, just been a phenomenal support, especially this last year. We had Mike on speed dial. We had a variety of actions and issues that Mike helped us work through and kept us honest on all kinds of things. So he's going to be missed. We've got, we'll be transitioning, I think we'll have 2 attorneys in support for us. Stephanie Crandall is on the line, so welcome Stephanie, and then Hannah Clendenning is another. She's out of Bloomington, and Stephanie is further north, is it Fort Wayne? Stephanie, I can't remember, but, so welcome, and looking forward to working with you.
Now, who's in the air, Hannah or Stephanie?
Stephanie.
You there, Stephanie?
I am, yes. I'm looking forward to working with all of you.
Just checking.
Thanks, Stephanie. Okay, the next issue, courthouse window replacement, meeting on December 10th. Kevin, you want to update us on that?
Correct. So in the approval that we went through for the first scope of scoping out the actual requirements for replacement windows in the courthouse, replacing all windows, and I think if I'm not mistaken, there may be 2 doors, but not certain on that. We have received the scoping document from Browning Day. There is a meeting that has been scheduled with the judge, the chief bailiff, the clerk, and the 2 agents, representatives from the corrections and probation department, along with Dan Cartwright, our owner's representative, and then the Browning Day representative. We're going to go through here in the scope of work and basically review it and make sure that that it is going to be what we need in order to proceed forward with this. I will say that the current estimate, pricing estimate for replacement, this is not an actual firm number, it's estimated at a little over $220,000 to replace all the windows in the courthouse.
What time is that, December the 10th?
It's at 11 o'clock, and it's going to be in the jury room.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, service contracts. Kevin, Todd stepped in office and
Okay.
had a couple things. He signed the contract.
Okay,
He said they're gonna give us more information on the paragraph 7. And then they suggested on our template that we add our attorney as part of the signature block.
okay.
So he's fine with the contract and he signed off on it,
So we need to provide the information ahead of time, or?
No, it's nothing contingent.
Okay.
It's ready to be approved, so
All right, that's great.
that was his suggestion. And then again, he'll give us more information on paragraph 7.
Okay, all right. So I'll add that to our list.
So I'll turn those lists over to you, Kevin,
So
whichever you want to say
in my
first.
initial addendum or amendment to the agenda needs to be recalled. So I am basically saying that the numbers which you all had presented earlier on through this for Baker Lawn Services. Currently, right now, they're looking at $6,622.77. This is at the Brown County offices here at the annex. That's what they're going to be looking at for work in the year. Next year, we have $9,556.09. That is identified for the Brown County Courthouse. The Brown County Health Department is looking at coming in for the year's service is $1,783. And then the Brown County Prosecutor's Office, which is just next door, is $1,745.70. So those are the totals. They are in alignment with what we have been paying in the past. There was only a slight change in one of them because he added mulch, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, to the courthouse. But these values or rates are what they were last year.
Do you have a total on everything?
Huh?
Total on all of it?
Oh, you want me to do math in my head? What the heck?
No, that's okay.
Hold on, man.
I'm good.
You're good?
I'm good.
All right. You got the auditor over here. We'll have her run the numbers for me.
Don't make her joke.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, so I would make a motion that we approve this contract for the, as presented.
I'll second.
Okay, roll call?
Kevin,
Yes.
Ron,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Next contract, which I mentioned as an addendum, is the contract for the bridge at Hoover and Sweetwater Trail. It's bridge number 20, it's a rehabilitation. We selected in the proposal, and it was recommended that RL Buxton Excavating, who was, in addition to not only being one that's been doing a lot of work for us, but also the low bid in that process. The total value that of their contract would be $394,394. This was they were selected this proposal. We were basically contingent on the CCMG money program, or we were making a decision or an award of this contract pending a review or notification that we received CCMG grants. We have received CCMG for this bridge to the tune of a little over $400,000. So I'm making a motion that we take this contract and approve it so that we can proceed forward and get this encumbered if necessary.
I'll second.
Okay, roll call?
Ron,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Kevin,
Yes. Continuing on with services, we have a contract here. We have a presentation from Kyle Hayworth per our contract wanting to renew lawn care services for the sheriff's shooting range, the Brown County Highway Department, the Brown County Overlook, the Sycamore Valley Center, and the Brown County Sheriff's Office. Those fees are basically what were charged last year. We increased the scope of, when we had the Veterans and Parks and Recreation building. We only increased the scope of work on one of these to include making sure the glass clippings and all those things were removed from the parking lot. He has signed our contract for that.
That also has a cancellation clause in it now?
Yeah.
Okay.
For our standard kind of contract, yep, it has a cancellation clause. So I am making a motion that we approve the contract for Kyle Hayworth Lawn Care Services.
At how much?
The
Is it all
total,
broke down? Do you have a total or is it broken
it
down?
doesn't have a total, it's only done by, he's doing certain mowing every other week, and he's doing it by once a week in certain areas. So it
It's the
depends
same
on
amount as last year?
the actual rate for doing the service is the same amount.
Okay. I'll second.
Okay, roll call?
Tim,
Yes.
Kevin,
Yes.
Ron,
Yes.
Next contract. It is a contract between the Board of Commissioners and Barrow Excavating. We were unable to bring under contract.
Sir, I believe, now don't hold me to it, but I'm pretty sure it's borrowed.
Borrow? Okay, yeah, you're probably right.
I've been around them a long time.
He's got money.
Huh?
Has he got money I could borrow?
I don't know. They spend on racing.
So, we originally had sent out to offer, and our initial agreement was to go to Dynamic Concrete. They did not get back with us in a reasonable period of time, and it lapsed, so we've rescinded the offer. This is basically now taking that and moving it to Mr. Barrow so that he can proceed forward with the work. The estimation is he should still be able to get it completed before the end of the year. The work that's being completed is fixing the flooding issue that we have at the courthouse. The new price or the value that has come with that is $4,800
Even?
even. Let me confirm that. Hold on just a second. I'm pretty sure that's right, but I don't have the attachment here.
I thought it was odd. Had a little something odd.
Good. Let me check, make sure. $4,800 even.
You the man.
I make a motion that we have awarded this contract to Barrow Excavating.
Second.
Roll call?
Kevin,
Yes.
Ron,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
And okay, so let's do this. Moving on, I'm going to skip over one and we'll come back to it. This is a contract that we're looking at entering into with Leading Pathways Consulting. They are a professional service organization and looking at offering human resources in the way of policies with regards to various work and investigation, helping us with completing our review on the handbook and updating it, and the other activities. Originally, we had done most of this work or some of this work with WIS. The contract has been signed by their founder and president, Christine McCann. It is a rate contract. It is not a total. So item hours for hourly rate is $180. Training and workshops, if there is a need to have some of those, it's anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500 per date. And then we will have to negotiate with her on any other projects larger than that per project.
Can we have just a little bit of discussion here?
Sure.
Julia. Don't mean to keep putting you on the spot. Are you happy with this?
I think it's probably necessary.
Ready to move on?
Yep.
Okay.
That it?
Pretty simple.
That's a
on
short
my
discussion, huh?
part. Pretty simple on my part.
So, no more discussion. I'll make a motion that we approve this contract with Christian McCann, Leading Pathways.
I'll second.
Roll?
Ron,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Kevin,
Yes.
Let me ask one more question, discussion. Is that just for contracts yearly?
This contract is, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, year. I don't remember what the renewal clause was.
Every once in a while, we get tired of the 3-year contracts.
I don't think we have a limit on that, do we?
It's got a cancellation clause in it?
Yes, it does.
Standard.
Yeah, we can probably get away with that if something's not working.
It's
So-
not really, it's not a really defined level of service. It's on as needed,
Yeah.
so there's not necessarily a fixed duration in here.
Well, does all contracts now have termination clauses?
Yes.
Okay. I'm good.
All right.
I'll make a motion to approve the contract for Leading Pathways again.
I'll second.
Okay. Do
again,
another call.
all right. Tim,
Yes.
Kevin,
Yes.
Ron,
Yes.
Okay, hopefully the final event for me, because my voice is beginning to crack.
You got 2
So,
minutes.
we have had on our agenda or on our item to deal with re-siding the Sycamore Valley or the SC CAP office down on Memorial Drive in the 4-H Fairgrounds. Eric, if you can, yeah, thank you. You're already well ahead of me, man. So we received basically 3 proposals. The 3 contractors that were approached were Austin Construction, B&B Construction, and Gallister EJH Construction. The lowest bid there came in from Austin Construction. Work of Details is looking at repairing the wood siding to allow for materials installation. So in essence, they're not going to remove the old siding, they're simply going to fix it and repair it. They're going to do any fixture removals that are necessary that's going to potentially impact the work of the new siding, remove debris and vegetation in the installation area, and put up a vapor barrier over the existing siding, install metal siding. So we're going to reduce our cost and maintenance by moving to metal siding rather than wood. They're going to install new fascia and soffits, and then they're basically going to look at removing or replacing gutters and downspouts with new 6-inch gutters. So those values there are all consistent on the same scope of work. My recommendation is.
Number,
Huh?
number,
Number what? There.
cost.
28,072.04 is what for Austin.
072. Did we decide the color?
That will be to come.
Well, the town sometimes likes to have a say in all that.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Well,
We'll have a conversation.
yeah, have the conversation with the town on the color before we do the actual,
The worst case scenario, it would be the same color as the Purdue extension.
and that's what color,
I
white?
think it's a green. I
Green?
think it's a green trim with a blank brown, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, because, like I said, let's make sure we get it past the town on the color.
So, recommendation that we accept the bid from Austin Construction at $28,072.04. And in being ahead of the game here, I actually have our signed contract with Austin Construction from him. So I also, in making that motion, say we accept this proposal and sign the contract.
No second.
Roll.
Kevin,
Yes.
Ron,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
And that's all, folks.
Oxen on Bridge 30 repair, we need to do anything on that one?
What am I doing?
Just,
Oh, this is the
Finalize
matching. Yeah, so, in passing, sorry. So, R.L. Buxton, so we went through the exercise, the highway went through and worked with R.L. Buxton, who's doing the bridge repair out, or the bridge construction out on Country Club, which they finished. They're finishing up another job. We had in our last meeting where we identified Orchard Road Bridge as a bridge that went to a 2,000-ton or a 2,000-ton, a 2-ton or a 3-ton weight limit, which was
3-ton, I
significant
believe.
less, I think is, yeah. And then reduced to 1 lane because of the severity of the issues with that bridge as far as the supports. If you have it, the supports that are under it are basically timbered on one side. So they have basically gone through and given us a quote to complete the work for $49,800 to encase the remaining timbers in concrete and make sure that they're setting on bedrock. And in the solution of doing so, that should extend the bridge life along with the deck that is already there and giving us a couple of years in order to deal with this later on. And it should also, based on what I have heard from Eric and his conversations with Aegis, actually go back and not actually put a weight restriction on it with this repair.
That's good news.
So,
it can handle 80,000, huh?
it should be able to handle whatever drives across it. And I know that there are large trucks that have been driven across that bridge.
I have a comment.
Sure.
You guys got all these contracts signed by them first.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you. That's all my comment is.
Yeah, he's giving me a hard
Very
time. I
proud of
changed
you
up
for
my
that.
game.
So, are you ready?
Am I ready? Oh, there's no motion here. It was just a knowledge. I mean,
We're just telling everybody what we're doing.
we've already done,
Since
we
it's
all
under
signed off.
50,000.
49,800.
I don't mean to stir the pot here. Let me jump back to the claims if I can, if I may. And I'm not picking on you back here, Brad. If anybody gets picked on, it's probably me. I noticed the boiler was very expensive. I thought we approved 49,000 and the bill come in at like 95,000.
The only thing that we approved on the claim was 49,000. There were 2 items. It was the water heater.
Installation, was that the water heater?
No, it was the water heater and the boiler. Water heater was 49.5,
Yeah.
and the boiler was 49,000.
So it added up?
Yeah.
Is that what it was? I didn't understand that when I looked at it. It looked like they charged us as much to put it in, but it was from the water heater, huh?
Yeah.
Yes.
Both of those items, they submitted invoices to us, and we paid both of them at the same time.
What do you think, Sheriff? We're trying to help you keep it going down there.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting there. It looks like we're gonna get our
ACs?
AC units.
Yeah.
They're in, and so,
The AC units are in, but the pads, weren't they?
Curbs.
Curbs.
Yeah, the curbs are what they're using to basically match the new mounting locations to the old locations.
Okay.
So
Good.
there shouldn't be any additional penetrations or roof issues by doing that.
the-
Except where they have to adjust for the ventilation.
the only next thing that I can see coming up that's going to be a cost that's starting to wear out is all our keypads on our door are, we got one starting to go out there going into admin, and the ones that are currently we have, they no longer make those. They've had some in back stock that we've been using, and they're pretty much out, so sometime eventually, those are probably gonna have to all be updated and changed out, and
Is that something we need to,
again, they're 20 years old, so
So is that a replacement of the entire system, or is that just a replacement of the pad?
the pads themselves.
Okay,
Um,
so,
We've
Is that something we
upgraded
need
the
to-
system, but the pads will probably all need to be on
Just-
the doors.
figure out by the end of the year or wait until next year or what?
we can wait till next year. We can actually, if we can, and we go through, we still have to have the conversation with the town about the prosecuting the Nashville Police Department. Again, it's a potential that if that does, where we get that to work, we could potentially look at me saying it being an update done under the bond. Which again, I don't know what it is. I will tell you, this year we are, with this siding contract, that leaves us like $3,000 in our actual maintenance budget
Oh,
for
okay.
buildings.
Yeah.
So there's nothing for us to carry forward on that.
All
And with
right.
the repair that we're trying to fix with the water leak, I think we're gonna burn the rest of that up in paying the bills to repave, repipe, refit.
Well, it looks like they've exited stage left out there.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't talked with Todd or Chris on that yet.
Hope it don't freeze.
Yeah, I have the same concern.
Well, and following up on that one, when it comes to capital improvements, that ties back to the investment we made in the capital improvement listing of the Dan Cartwright worked with us. So we're gonna have more than just one or two projects on that list for replacement. So we're in the process of identifying those, and so we'll put together a budget for next year on what that might look like. So we're not guessing as to kind of expenses. We're gonna have several projects coming up that it's not on the table right now. And Kevin, I follow up on the service contracts. Great job on doing that. Folks, to give you a little background, the state recently changed the law that the commissioners have to review and approve all the contracts. So then we had to come up with a format, a template that Mike helped us work on, and then we started doing the inventory of the contracts and reformatting to make sure they're all fit the standard template. So a lot of work goes into that, and Kevin kind of briefed you, but just super job on making that transition. So that's where that comes from. And also, for the sake of transparency, a lot of these contracts, if it's under 50,000, we may not have to put them on a public meeting kind of agenda, but everything we do, we make it public. So even though we don't have to, we try to put everything we can. So we're probably at 99% right now. Every now and then someone will come in at the last minute and we'll go ahead and do it and move on. But for the most part, I'd say, we try to be as transparent as possible and put this on our agenda. So.
Did you want to mention any of that?
Yeah, I'll talk about that. Let's go down to the county office department. We're going to skip through that on that one. Folks are attending the Indiana County Commissioner Association Conference. So good information ought to be learned from that one.
Yeah.
Ongoing business, let me pick out a couple ones. This just shows you some things we're going just currently that we're working through. On the back of the agenda, you'll see we've got a whole list of other items and initiatives that we have various states on. So we kind of keep busy. But let me pick out a couple of these that I'll go over in a little more detail. The Pumpkin Ridge Road upgrade. The status on that one is the NDOT contractor, which is Crawford Murphy Utility, will be updating the survey and staking the proposed construction limits. That was requested from the property owners at our last meeting. The tentative target date for that resurvey and staking is mid-January. Property owners will be notified when dates are confirmed. This process will be followed by on-site meetings. The shared objective for NDOT and the county is to only obtain the right-of-way needed in order to maintain the proposed road. Surveys and on-site meetings lead to refining the plan that is then presented at public meetings for consideration. The second item I'll go in a little more detail on is, well, these draft ordinances, I just give our attorney kind of heads up. These are kind of things that are in the hopper, and I think we'll probably have a few more that maybe not on here, so we'll come up with a list of those. And typically what we do is every month we have an executive session with our attorney, generally second Wednesday of the month, and we go through all these legal kinds of things to stay ahead of the game so we understand what we need to do and when things need to be done. The commissioner budget, I'll go in a little more detail on that one. This other stuff, we'll mention the board appointments we're going to announce in the paper. The owner occupied rehab grant is we're due to hear, if we got accepted for that on December 18th. And then the county comprehensive plan, the RDC has one more meeting to refine their suggestions for proposed RFPs, and that's to update the county comprehensive plan. So let me go over this commissioner budget. This was kind of a dynamic process this year. So let me just go through the highlights from our perspective. The commissioners in the highway department spent weeks this year re-engineering our budgets. We had to unpack years of incremental tampering in order to make sense of the budget and funds needed to make the necessary improvements in operations. For example, if you look at the back of our agenda, you will see a sampling of initiatives, many of which come with a price tag. The lack of funding in some areas actually lead to situations that require even more funding to resolve. The steps in the budget process, let me summarize just 6 major steps. Starting around in January, the council provides guidance. The goal this year was to reduce budgets from 2025 by 5% and then no cost of living increase. In our case, our goal was challenging in itself, was to update our 2025 budget that included around $700,000 in costs that should have been expensed in the previous year. We also questioned expenses and categories charged to the various funds to include transfers and encumbrances. Encumbrances are amounts that need to be postponed until the following year. After the guidance is passed out, the auditor distributes the Form 1 budgets, the spreadsheets, which we update and are returned. The council and the auditor schedule meetings that are generally 3 days. The auditor's financial advisor provides guidance on the needed changes. She provides a couple spreadsheets, that's Jackie Clements. She provides a couple spreadsheets that identify projected revenues, growth quotient, fund balances, and other idiosyncrasies with the upcoming budget. Then the departments present their budgets and answer any questions. Any changes needed are discussed and made so there are no surprises. This process also supports transparency, that there are no surprises. Then the auditor uploads the updated budgets, state reviews and approves. Any needed changes are made the following year. That's it. Pretty simple process. This year, there were no presentation by the departments. Council members assigned themselves as liaisons to work with their assigned departments to better understand the needs of the respective departments. This experiment did not work out. The liaisons were not clear on the requirements and expectations of the change and were only able to answer few, if any, questions. In our case, we received feedback in November that no change were made to our Form 1 budget submitted. This was reinforced by the auditor, who stated that she did not make any changes. We then recently learned that changes may have been made by the council's financial advisor at the direction of a council rep. In essence, we seem to be operating under 2 sets of budget books. This caused problems for the auditor that contributed to the county being over budget by $360,000. And per the auditor, the state resolved the issue by cutting the budget. We're not sure where the cuts were made, unless they were updated. Okay. And at this point, we asked for an audit trail of what was changed, or what may have been changed, and then we will take the necessary actions to mitigate the damages. I think we, the council, auditor, and commissioners, also have a general agreement to consider a better process for 2026. That concludes my statement on the budget process. Which one? There you have it. All right, public comments. Any, yeah, Dina?
This is on, I guess, Dina Patrick. I just wanted to give you an update on where I am on the Indiana Energy Saver Program.
Okay.
I signed up for it on August 21st. Kevin Allen had a public meeting here, what was it, October 16th? And they were able to pull my application up and said, you're in the review process. A couple days later, I got an email and said, hey, we want more information, which was they wanted my total Duke Energy bills for 12 months. So I got those and I uploaded them. The thing they didn't tell me is my files were restricted to no more than 10 megabytes. So I was like, I had to break them down and redo them. So I sent in what they needed. They sent me an email back about a week later and said, thank you for your application. You're in line. We take them in the order they were received. And I thought, okay, did I start all over again? I don't know. And so yesterday I called and I talked to a very nice lady. Her name was Christine. And I said, could you possibly tell me where I am? I explained the circumstances. And she said that I had gone from the initial review and I am now in the second review, which is what they call their quality control. And if I pass through that, then I will be contacted to actually have somebody come do the energy audit. But I told her, I said, well, thank you very much. She was very nice, and I told her I was going to report to my commissioners that at least one Brown County resident is in the process and seems to be moving forward.
Great.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Great, Dina, thank you. That's super. Dina's the, what do they call them, the canary in the coal mine on testing out the process. In addition to the energy saver that Aegis is doing for the state, and they're doing other states as well, we also have that owner-occupied rehab grant that gives people funding also. So the two go hand in hand. So if we get the application approved, awarded the December 18th, then what's not covered in that grant can be covered by the Energy Saver Grant. So the two programs will go hand in hand to give people the most support we can possibly get. So thank you for leading the way on that one so people can understand what's involved and the help they may need. So thank you, Dina. Okay, the final item is legal. Stephanie, anything for the cause?
Nothing right now. Again, looking forward to working with you going forward, and appreciate all the great things you have going on in Brown County.
Hey, thanks, Stephanie.
Thank you.
Okay, I have a motion.
Well, hold on. I have one more question for the sheriff. So in these keypads, is that something that's typically, was that worked originally through IT with assistance there? Are you going to need help with that, Brad, or what resources do you think you're going to have?
That'd be our integrated system within the jail that they'll have.
So are we under contract with them to look at grades and updates on that?
Yes. With, what is it, Stanley, that does all our integrating?
Okay. All right, yeah, just familiarizing myself with that, because again, I know you guys are kind of isolated and working your own security, because your security has to be much higher than what we have in the county offices.
Right.
What I remember, sir, is something about a door, locking door, and I don't know if your keypad system's involved in that locking door system. I don't want to say too much, but from what I remember, it was kind of expensive. Is these keypads not very expensive, or are they like expensive?
They're expensive.
Okay, I thought there might be.
It will, if it gets all completely changed, it will be an expensive update. I don't know that the way, haven't really had a chance, we just got one that's starting to fail, and talking to them, they don't have those replacements. So I think if we start replacing the new ones, I don't know if the old and the new coincide, work together, that we may have to completely
So I
change the
recall.
new keypads.
We need
I
some
recall
numbers,
earlier,
Kevin.
though. Huh?
We need some numbers at some point.
Yeah, I understand, but I think the thing is if I also recall earlier on, I know that there was an email notification that there was some grants and things of that nature by Homeland Security, and it looked like they're gonna be doing multiples. Maybe we can actually have Whitney step in and see if we can't actually find security funds for it, because if I recall correctly, they were focused on you know, not so much just that, but terrorism and things of that nature too, but it seemed like they were focusing on the security aspects of
As
it.
you know, I mean, we'll do it as long as we can with what we have. I mean, I don't
We
want to
might
spend
not
money
have
that
time for
it's not
that.
needed to spend, but if it's gonna go down, then obviously that's we have to secure
We
the
might.
building.
We might not have time for that.
Well, I understand that, but if we're doing, so the other thought process as I go through this, saying we don't necessarily may have time for the keypad side of it, but you're also got an aging system with regards to security. And I'm sure that we
Well,
probably
we've
need to.
upgraded the camera systems, that's all been already upgraded. The door pads, keypads will be the next. The other system, I think you talked to some about, as well as our iRecord system, is extremely old. They keep wanting us to update it. I'm like, well, it's working right now, I'm not gonna fix something that ain't broke. However, it's,
This is kind of thing that we're gonna need you to help us from what you need from an asset plan, because then that gives us the chance to go through that and prioritize it.
right, and our iRecord system, which is in the interview rooms, the breathalyzer, and then where we do field sobriety in the hallway.
All right.
That whole system, which then the prosecutor has to have all that recorded and everything. It's just old and outdated, and it's on its own system, and they're like, yeah, that, we would have to scrap that, and just like all technology, it doesn't,
Could you come in?
Eric knows, it's just
Sure. Could you come into an admin meeting like the next one or the one after and kind of, let's have a little further conversation about
Sure.
this? Appreciate it.
Kevin, you're
This
on
is-
this, oh, sorry.
Yeah, this is kind of stuff we just keep adding to the spreadsheet
Correct.
when they come in and start identifying these things. So,
Your idea of Department of Homeland Security is a good one, I would say. The Feeding America food banks have increasingly gone to them. They do a security review. Now, you may already have something that would substitute, but every year there's money left on the table because it's one of those budgets where people don't ask. So Whitney, I would think, would be able to do that. But there's an office by the Indy Airport that does the security reviews, and then they make recommendations and set some prioritization with it. But they were actually reasonable to work with. I put cleaners through the whole process, and I know Lafayette and Terre Haute did as well. In fact, Terre Haute got decent funding out of it.
It's just, I think, Phil, like we said, we're wanting to make sure we made some pretty significant progress with the law enforcement center.
Oh,
this year,
100%, yeah,
Right?
yeah.
And I have not forgotten about your parking lot, okay?
Oh, that's the least. of my
I know it's the
worries
least
right
of
now.
your worries, but still, we have a water drainage issue that needs to be dealt with, so.
Security
And
and
that
safety
triggers
is
the
a building.
keypads. Triggers, Eric, you were talking too also on keypads.
I will definitely attest to the fact that his keypads need to be replaced.
Okay.
They're in pretty bad shape.
Anything else in the county buildings as far as security, that kind of thing?
Well, I mean, we've been talking about doing a replacement of our swipe lock system. So one potential thing we could look at is, getting a quote from the sheriff's vendor, because while we would necessarily not want to force them to be on our system, maybe it would behoove us to have the same vendor with a separate system.
Eric, and y'all, let's keep some of that for an admin meeting because when it comes to security, we don't need to advertise any of our vendors or anything.
I agree with that.
Okay.
That's a touchy subject, is what I've learned.
Yeah. Okay. That was all I had, so I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.